Doesn't 2K.
Man, I have not been following because I'm working during all the games. I have not been following on the playoffs, so you're gonna have to fill me in on a lot of that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've mostly been like checking in sometimes and following along with the NBA app.
yeah, like I know what the general standing is for most things. Like I follow to that degree, but I don't know the specifics for a lot of things. I don't know like any drama, any big things. Like I catch what I can catch at work right now in the cafeteria.
Right. I
Um
don't suppose any of your coworkers are really big on talking about how the Bucks got embarrassed by the Brooklyn Nets.
no, my like 63-year-old Polish like old lady coworker who just constantly tells me about how I make the beds wrong is not following Bucks this year, I don't think.
She is not getting extremely mad about the baby nutted bastard Trey Young knocking the Knicks out of the playoffs.
Oh my God, I fuck him. Fuck him in
Uh,
his fuck him in his gay ear. That okay, tell me I'm wrong here. So, I don't know if this is just because I'm New York brained or if this really was a feel good moment, but that first game back in the Garden, like with the full crowd and like Tracy Morgan on the floor, that was a feel good fucking game, right?
Absolutely.
That was the SNL after 9/11, right? Like New York is back,
Except the
America's
9/11
back.
here was the Kristaps Porzingis trade.
Yes, that is the thing that's rocked this country, nay, the entire world for the last year.
Porzingis and Carmelo leaving had about as big an impact on New York as 9/11.
I'm just like whenever I'm sometimes when I'm cleaning at work and I'm just like, like my mind is just because it's just like mundane tasks a lot of what I'm doing. And sometimes like my mind will just wander and I'll just start saying the phrase like Porzingis, 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 just over and over in my head. Just because it's such a great sounding name to just say and think.
His name, the feeling of saying it, is the opposite of the feeling of seeing his face.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't like him. I don't like him. But a hell of a name though. It's like King of the, like in King of the Hill when Hank is just like, I hate Saddam Hussein. Love his haircut.
uh, like how Ahmadinejad, not a great guy in general, but like that style of like the suit with no tie and the collar open,
Yeah.
that swag.
I like that he's a Chapo head.
Yeah. Swagged out Ahmadinejad listening to Chapo in his retirement.
I he has like a really good Twitter. Like he'll just like be like tweeting about like Huey P. Newton and shit like that. And just like real like gadfly stuff for like the worst Americans. It's great. He's just like a left shit poster, but it's Mahmoud.
Yeah. Uh, Happy Pride. Follow Mahmoud Ahmadinejad on Twitter. So yeah, yeah, I've been following the playoffs where I can. I've mostly been focused on the West because that's where the team I'm basically mostly following now and the team my mom is mostly rooting for are.
Oh, I need to know. I need to know Mrs. Jacoby's takes on the teams this year. Who's she going for?
She is a Nuggets head. She got really into the Nuggets during the last playoffs and she is really enjoying them now. She likes Jokic, she likes Jamal Murray.
I love the relationship with you and your mother where you're just both trapped watching whatever the other one wants to watch on the couch. Just like this, just tethered together forever, watching media that neither watching the media that the other wants to watch that the other would never have chosen in a million years, but might either get something out of or just despise. That's just wonderful for me. I love hearing about that.
Yeah, but yeah, that's my mom's basically favorite team, and she's sort of like afraid to watch their games because she has the superstition that like when she watches the games, it puts a hex on the team.
Oh yeah, I've got that too. Because I was
Uh,
watching that. I was watching that Sixers game. I blame myself more than Triple H.
I'm at a weird point, like in this part of the playoffs, where like every team I root against is gone, and so like I'm happy whoever wins.
Yeah, this is a boring one for me. I don't like these playoffs. I usually root for the team you're rooting against. I like the Mavs. I like the Lakers. Fuck this. I'm watching baseball this year. Baseball's great.
I
Ba-
still like I've been
Baseball.
watching Eastbound and Down and I like that, but like watching a whole baseball game, I don't think I can wrap my head around that.
I the thing is, baseball is the chill beats to relax and study to of sports. You know, like I mean, I watch it like it's a contact sport. Like it's like I watch it intensely, but it really is just a sport you can vibe to. I can't vibe to basketball. You know.
Yeah, it's like it's either a radio sport or a sitting there for 5 hours drinking beer and eating peanuts sport.
Dude, that's the fucking best. I love a sport that you can just chill and just I like a sport that you can get exactly the same amount out of listening to AM radio as to watching it. That's great. I there's not a better experience. Honestly, there's not much of a better experience than listening to like a good radio like broadcast of a baseball game. Like that is a good experience. That's a lost art.
Yeah, that reminds me that I need to go back to I believe it's called Radio Garden. It's this app on my phone that like you have like a view of the earth
Mhm.
and you can like go around and you can listen to like radio stations from all over the earth. And it is one of the best things that I have put on my phone in a
That
while. Like
that
I
does
can just
actually
go to
sound
like a
really cool.
French funk station
That
and
sounds
just like
actually
vibe for like an hour while the announcer occasionally pipes in with Kanal Funk.
that actually does sound cool. I had an app on my phone a while ago, or it was a website, I think, where you can tune into like different countries' radio stations in different decades. So you can listen to like what like was on the radio in like the 70s in Japan, and it's just like
Nice.
the coolest fucking jazz. 70s Japanese jazz is like that's like what half of my jazz playlist is just fucking it's Dave Brubeck but like with like pipes with like pan flutes and it's great.
Now, see, you say that, and then you say you don't like Steely Dan.
I don't it's not that I don't like Steely Dan, it's that I don't get Steely Dan. I don't get it. It's like it's like your bit with Bruce Springsteen. I don't get it. I don't get why there's people like I get okay, so I'm a real big fan of the recent like uh left Twitter revival of the Beatles. I really enjoy the Nuanced Opinion guys like spearheading of people getting back into the Beatles. I get it. I don't get the fucking Steely Dan stuff. Steely Dan is like it's Uncle Rock. It's Uncle Rock. It's like
It's
fucking
Uncle Magic, Shane.
Uncle like I
You would deny the Uncle Magic?
no, I wouldn't deny Uncle Magic. I guess I don't know. Maybe I should give it a try. I know like you tell me like these albums I know the albums, you know? Like I know Oja, I think it's called. It's the black one with the red dancing lady on it.
Asia, yeah.
Asia. I was thinking of Oya Kodard for some reason.
See, that
Orson.
makes me want Norson Wells Steely Dan crossover.
Oh God, there's a post there, isn't there? I love my favorite shit post is Orson Welles sitting at the desk and just like a long paragraph about something modern.
Yeah, the no chorus bit.
Yes.
But yeah, like
All right. All right. Okay. So your birthday passed, right?
no, it's in September.
Your birthday's in September. All right. We're gonna do a Steely Dan episode. I'll listen to Steely Dan. We'll report back.
Uh a special double feature of I'm trying to pick the two best albums for showing it off. Like I'm thinking Royal Scam and Gaucho
Okay.
cuz like I'm pretty sure both of those are like maybe 45 minutes. So both of them together, that's like a brisk hour and a half.
I just like I don't I just think it's so funny that like the crossover of your two favorite things, Steely Dan and the god awful DC film universe Suicide Squad came together in one insane moment, and I tell you about it and you don't even take a second to revel in like, huh, that's cool. And you're just like immediately pop off with 10 songs you would have preferred in the trailer. Like there's at least 17 different Steely Dan songs that would work better for Suicide Squad. I've thought about this.
The thing is, I hadn't
That
thought
was
about it. It just
that was
occurred to
your
me.
that was your most normal brained moment.
uh, uh, yeah, I would say that like liking the NBA is my most normie opinion, but I'm even kind of a hipster on that too. Like, I like the second most popular team in LA, which has to be like the third most popular team in
Oh,
California.
that is like so like fucking the Clippers, man. That's such a like historically a tool team. It's historically just like what Jackass is like. I mean, it's different now. You came in when there was energy behind it, but there was not energy behind the Clippers.
I don't know.
Like
I
for
feel like
a
there would have been like some energy during the Lob City years where like Blake Griffin was doing just the most earth destroying jams.
I don't know. I just think a lot about you know what what
I
rings
will
through
say
my
I
head.
totally believe that that dunk contest was rigged.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say he's blameless on that one.
Yeah, like the 2000s to the like early 2010s were a real magical time for basketball, you know. It was a real magical time to like start getting into basketball.
Yeah, that would have been really great. Like you had like the Dwayne Wade Super Heat, you had the Lob City Clippers, you had the
hmm
Spurs.
Boots with the Spurs.
uh,
Oh God. So yeah, we're doing a podcast, aren't we?
yeah. This is a special episode that I think I might call "Does Saturday Work for You?"
Yes. The Saturday. Can we just talk? Can we let the listener know about the Columbo bit that's been
Yes,
hexing my
yes.
life? I have what many might call a memory problem. I will say things, I'll make declarative statements, and I will just immediately throw them away in my mind. I'll just immediately empty the cache, throw out all the cookies, and just go on with my life. That's how I operate. That's how I'm able to live, is just I immediately throw out information. So, I will often text Neil saying, like, yeah, Wednesday works perfectly for me to record. And then Wednesday comes and Neil's like, all right, are you ready? And I'll be like, ready for what? And he'll be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I'll be like, I never agreed to Wednesday. At no point have I agreed to Wednesdays.
And then I
And
drop a
now
screenshot, and I'm like, Columbo voice. So you said you weren't available Wednesday, huh?
I have nobody to blame for myself. I've ruined my relationship with Nicole with this chicanery and hooliganism uh, of just immediately throwing away every bit of information. Um, I recently we had to tear apart my bedroom recently. You'll find the story funny. We got like stupid credit card problems. We had to mail something to a credit union recently, and I had to hold on to the receipt from the post office just so I can track like the package, track like the envelope. And
And you didn't immediately take a photo of it so you'd have a backup?
no, you'd think I would, but I didn't. Um, I put it somewhere for safekeeping. I put it under like a book, which was on top of another book, which was on top of just like a series of different objects in my room.
Okay, so your room is
Like,
sounding a lot like mine in that regard.
oh
I
yes,
have
yes,
fucking books everywhere.
it's just dumbass piles. I bought so many stupid books this weekend. This last week, I bought so many stupid. I bought a history of phonographs books. I bought two books on vaudeville. So yeah, I put that receipt in my room, and like a squirrel burying its nuts for winter, I immediately forgot where I put it.
You
And
scrat motherfucker.
yeah, it was gone. It was gone for the entire day, and that happened to be the last place I looked. It was right under there, and it all came flooding back to me, and I put it there so I wouldn't forget. I don't know why. I don't know why my mind is like this. I don't know why. I don't know why I can remember like plot points from like the most minute. I don't remember why I can remember the most minute plot points from Mad Men, but I cannot remember like actual things that will be affecting my life.
You are living life like season 1 fucking Kevin McCarthy or whatever the name of the sheriff in The Leftovers is.
Yes, absolutely. Kevin Garvey, Neil. Kevin Garvey.
Okay. I think part of it is that my brain sort of separates those two names into like Kevin Garnett and Cormac McCarthy.
Would you have liked the leftovers better if they replaced Justin Theroux with Kevin Garnett?
um
Why? Why
I my problem with that character is not Justin Theroux.
wait. Why would you show me the deer if I couldn't shoot it?
Now I've got something great for you, KG. I've got this I've got this rosary. I've got this town in Texas. It's
Oh,
called Miracle. Yeah, I just realized I do a surprisingly good Matt,
yes.
because like he's got such a weird attempting to sound American voice. He sounds a
Yeah.
lot like this.
Yeah, he's got like a very certain type of voice. Like a very like I don't
There's a certain way that he says his R's that really gives him away as not being an American.
it always sounds fine to me, but when other people point it out, I can't disagree with them. The last when did this project start? Like 3 months ago? You watching my two favorite TV
Approximately,
shows?
yeah. It
Um,
started after our Justice League episode, so that would have been
mhm.
when did that really when did the Snyder cut release?
I don't know, like February.
Yeah, so like since the Snyder cut released and we did our episode on that, I started watching The Leftovers because I was able to take one recommendation and discard it. Two recommendations would have been harder, but three at once in such a short amount of time that pushed me over the edge.
Yes. Yeah, we bombarded you with recommendations for it.
It's like
So
the all-out attack from one of the later Persona games.
yes. It was I don't know if it was a mistake for me to have suggested you watch it, you know? I don't know. I
I will say that I don't regret it.
it was I regret it kind of. It was a rough month for seeing something you love get dragged through the mud on a daily basis.
I did give you a lot of grief about the
You
first season and the second.
yeah, you sent me to hell. You sent me to hell in a lot of ways. You affected my mood for a lot of days. You put me in a bad mood. It's like just like a sad mood at work. I'm just like, fuck. All right.
The first season, I would say I was in a bad mood and passing that on to you. The second season, I'd say I was more frustrated than actively having a bad time, because, like, the second season is better than the first, but it still has a lot of stuff that frustrates me.
Yeah.
And then the third season is mostly great. But for
Yeah.
that one episode that we got into an argument about,
Oh, which one? The hotel
the
one.
one where Kevin goes back to his dream world.
Oh, is this the one where he goes back to the dream world where he has to like
Yeah, season 3, episode 7,
oh
he's the
yeah.
president.
Uh-huh. Have you ever I'm trying to think of, have you ever liked a Good Vibrations needle drop? I'm not saying you're famous for not like, I'm just wondering. I'm just curious because it
Yeah, see, I
happens.
can't really remember notable Good Vibrations needle drops.
It happens in Us. There's a good one. That's the scene where I don't like Us very much. Like I didn't think like that was probably one of the more disappointing movie experiences.
I liked the first two acts of Us, and I really disliked the third act.
Oh my God. So I have thought about this so many times. You can recut that movie. Like, if you had chopped up that script, got rid of essentially the entire third act, get the fuck rid of it, and made it like, made the home invasion scene most of the movie,
Yeah, like
and
the
made
the
it,
climax being in Tim Heidecker's house.
yes, and then the end, the last like Twilight Zone stinger is them watching the TV of it happening everywhere. Why the fuck wasn't it that? Why did
I
they keep
because I guess he had
going?
a lot of lore to explain, and like
Oh fuck. I wish he didn't. Like
and
it
like coming
wasn't.
back to the leftovers, like I it really doesn't get into the lore as much as I had feared. And like
Yeah.
what lore it does get into is like how this affected the world, which is like the interesting part of it, and not
That's
like here's exactly why it happened.
yeah, that's why that was that was the selling point I was selling you on with the leftovers is that the big event of the show doesn't, it matters but it doesn't matter why, it just matters that it happened and that it fucked people up. It fucked the it fucked the tectonic plates of like society,
Yeah, it's
like
a show about
real.
aftermath. It's not a show about like explanation.
Yeah, it's the Handmaid's Tale in theory goes into stuff like that, but not as well in my opinion. um
I haven't seen that show because I'm waiting to read the book, and even when I've read the book, I probably won't see the show.
Yeah, the book is good. I read the book in high school. Actually, no, freshman year of college because there was a Tumblr post of like women writers that people should read, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna jump on this first one, and then I'm gonna
Fun
read
fact:
others.
I had a copy of The Handmaid's Tale from the library with me at my high school graduation because I intended to read it during the ceremony instead of paying attention, but I just fell asleep instead.
Oh my God.
And I did the same thing with my college graduation, but it was American Psycho, and I actually stayed awake to read it.
Oh, that's funny.
Uh, part of it was that my college graduation, I was not literally on stage at the Elliott Hall of Music under hot lights in a very blanket-like robe.
Are you a warm sleeper or a cold sleeper?
Um,
Do you like to be
I'm
extreme?
both, but
So,
I do need like a blanket.
so perfect conditions for me. I need the room like I don't need it to be this way because I'm not having in the room this way right now just because I sleep with another person in the bed. Like I want to be respectful of their wishes
You
as
sleep
well.
in a big bed with your fiance and not in a
Okay?
race car bed.
Yes, exactly. That is the line I think about from The Simpsons. I think the most is I sleep in a big bed with my wife. Oh, I'll in a little bit. We're just on a digression of a digression right now, so I can't get into the digression of the Simpsons scene I've been thinking about every day because there's one I've just been quoting endlessly every day. Well, fuck me, I'm in it already. So the Simpsons episode where Lisa learns about the Simpsons gene, about how she's
Oh
getting
yeah.
dumber. The end of that episode where Homer gets all the dumb Simpsons together, and I just keep thinking about uh I run an unsuccessful shrimp company. Oh, but you run it, right? Oh yeah. And also, I like to shoot birds at the airport. Everybody hates birds, right? I beg celebrities for money. Junk band manager. My legs hurt. What a good fucking moment. Oh my god.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, my ideal sleeping experience is extremely cold bedroom, big warm blanket. That's the
That's pretty
deal.
close to my ideal.
Yeah. If I were to like have the whole room alone, I would have the air conditioning be on like 52.
So you're going Bernie Sanders mode.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh yeah. The big jacket, That's yeah, absolutely. Where the fuck were we from this? A Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, Handmaid's Tale doesn't do. I like the Handmaid's Tale book. She was connected to Epstein, wasn't she? Margaret Atwood.
Margaret Atwood?
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, she's connected to somebody, isn't she? One second. I'm almost certain she's an Epstein person.
Welcome to True Anon.
Welcome to
I'm
TrueAnon.
Braze here with Liz. And we're talking about whether or not Margaret Atwood is connected to Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, this podcast is so lucky that my computer is running slowly right now, or I'd be googling this. Yeah, The Leftovers does, in my opinion, the best thing it does is really show how weird and stupid the world will get if it like had something like this happen, which we did. We had COVID, and it got stupid. You know?
Okay, so I did Google it, and I'm not seeing any actual like connections, but I am seeing a Vulture article. Margaret Atwood on the decade The Handmaid's Tale came to life, and the excerpted sentence: "The event of the decade that strikes me as most Gileadian is the Jeffrey Epstein case." No comment on that.
No, I'm just trying to. Did I fucking dream this? Did I dream Ghislaine Maxwell, Margaret Atwood connection? Did somebody warg this into my brain?
Maybe you're confusing her with Zenny Jardin.
Zenny Sharton. Homie, what's your set?
I still can't believe she fucking tweeted that Jeffrey
That's
Epstein and Ghislaine are actually gay during Pride
just
Month.
like, oh my god. That really is like, you do not have to, like, under no circumstances do you have to say, like, do you gotta hand it to ISIS?
Jeffrey Epstein said gay rights.
God. Jeffrey Epstein threw the first brick at Stonewall.
Actually, Jeffrey Epstein is POC coded, lives on an island, and queer coded, has a weird shaped dick, and that's most of the reason you people don't like him.
But y'all ain't ready to talk about that.
Oh god.
Oh god, I hate what life is.
I believe we got to Handmaid's Tale through us.
Yes, us really should have been like, I don't know, like, cuz fucking, I feel like, what's his name? I feel like Jordan Peele, obviously disconnected from his failed, like, really bad Twilight Zone adaptation, is really going for that Rod Serling kind of like asking big questions through speculative sci-fi fiction,
God,
like, he's
remember
going
when
for that.
they had a CGI Rod Serling welcome someone to the Twilight Zone at the end of the season?
uh,
You were recruited to the Twilight Zone project.
why is that type of show so hard? Like, you'd think, like, the Twilight Zone format would have yielded at least like five other really, like, not as good but at least decently good shows. But like, outside of like The Outer Limits and like three episodes of Black Mirror, have there
Tales from the
ever
Crypt.
that's different. That falls into the Elvira kind of thing, like, that's horror, like the horror type thing. That's an entirely different subgenre. I'm talking about, sci-fi big question kind of stuff.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like just anthology shows in general.
No, I'm talking about specifically like the big question sci-fi anthology. Like,
I think part of it is that like to ask good questions, you need to be not afraid of like pissing off powerful people.
yes, I think you really. I think the problem is just
And like
scientists.
in the case of Black Mirror, that's kind of incompatible with getting that Netflix bag.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, we didn't have the answers in the 60s, so we had big questions that had interesting possibilities. And those questions all came to be answered, and the answers are bad and stupid. So our questions now are fucking bad and stupid. We don't have good questions anymore.
uh,
And also just like, like fucking like what Chapo said, like the average, writer for like American TV writer is just fucking like Swiss cheese brain. Just absolute like that is the cult like you there is no good TV writers essentially. None that aren't like there are no good new TV writers, let me put it that way. The only good ones are the ones that like grandfathered in from like the old times. Like whoever writes for like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Always Sunny currently.
uh, See,
But yeah,
I'm trying to remember like which episodes of Black Mirror are really, because like that first season of Black Mirror, there's like at least one good episode.
oh yeah,
Most
and it's
people say it's the pig fucking one, but I think it's the eye implant one where like the human instinct to be paranoid and jealous is amplified by this new technology in a way that like reflects things that are happening in the real world, but like amped up to a visually interesting level.
yeah. I think all right. So the entire first season of Black Mirror, I think hits. I'm looking at the episode list right now on Wikipedia. The national anthem, that's the pig fucking episode. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
great. That's a home run. Uh, 15 million merits. That's the Daniel Kaluuya one where he
That's the one about going on reality TV and becoming a revolutionary that is in fact just in the pocket of capital.
yes, that's good. That one's good as hell. And then I also like the eye thing. I feel like every season of Black Mirror now has an episode where somebody gets some like a computer in their eye, you know? Oh, my
Yeah,
eye.
like
I'm not supposed to get computers in it.
they have like two ideas now. One is someone gets something in their eye, and the other one is someone's brain gets uploaded into something.
Yes. What is this? Be right back.
That's the one where they make a clone of your dead husband out of his Facebook
Oh.
profile.
Oh yeah, that's the Domhnall Gleeson one. No, that one sucked. White Bear. That's the first one I watched. That's the one where like people suggest like, "Oh, you have to watch Black Mirror. You have to watch White Bear. Don't look up any of the spoilers." And like it was all right. It was fine. But
That's the one about cancel culture.
yeah, the Waldo moment. That one's almost good. That one's almost good. That one almost is all right. It kind of predicts Boris Johnson. The Christmas special sucks dick. The Christmas special like goes on for like 3 hours too long. If it was just that John Hamm part, that'd be great.
And that's the one where they bring back the idea of someone's brain getting uploaded into something with the time
Yes.
dilation prison.
Yeah.
And like the only one from the Netflix stuff that I've actually seen is the Star Trek one, which
Mhm.
I half think is interesting and half really get annoyed with because I like the central idea, but I think it focuses on the wrong half of it. Like,
Yeah.
the interesting part is what happens in that workplace after it's discovered that he's got, like, these sort of perfect replicants of his coworkers that he tortures in, Star Trek Online. Like, what does that do to that workplace?
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
instead, it's about, what do the characters in the computer feel? Which, like, I don't think is something that can really be applied to real world dynamics in a way that's interesting. Like,
No,
it's
yeah,
not
they're
asking an interesting question about the world. It's asking, ooh, what if your computer could feel sad?
yeah, they're doing what is it? Five players in search of an exit and it's a good life, but like dumb.
Yeah.
Um, so I haven't watched a lot of these ones. I watched the lesbian one, and that was all right. I don't remember a lot about it.
I've heard that one's good.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to get yelled at. Our the Archangel one. That one is one no one talks about, but I like that one because it is the archetypical Black Mirror. Something gets inserted into your eye episode, but it was directed by based Jodie Foster, and I
Is
think
that
she
the
bring
one about the mom?
yes, I thought that one was pretty good. This is such good radio. The fucking the you know what sucked dick? You know what episode was terrible? The
The Miley
worst.
Cyrus one.
Oh my god. That is some of the worst media I've ever seen in my life. That is
You don't like the Nine Inch Nails remix?
I don't care how like good she like every time I like definitively say I fucking hate Miley Cyrus, I think she's a cringe woman. Like somebody always comes and says like, "Oh, she's actually really good about this or that." Like I don't care, she's cringe. She sucks. Like she really
I
like
completely agree that she is cringe, but like in a way that can sometimes lead to like some interesting things, like the backyard series she did, where it's like her and Joan Jett singing "Androgynous" by the Replacements. Yeah, interesting.
yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's one of the ones people point to is that her backyard series is pretty good. I like her cover. She did like a Fleetwood Mac cover, I think that I enjoyed. But yeah, she's just like every time she talks, like the thing is she's been leaning hard into like I'm not a Disney girl anymore, motherfucker. But she's been leaning into that for like 13 years now.
Yeah, like I feel like trying to have a conversation with her would be an exercise in frustration.
Yes. Like, I don't know. See, I get a lot of patients at work that remind me of her.
Uh,
Just like fucking, like, just like cringe, like, I'm not daddy's little princess anymore, motherfucker. Like, it's that kind of stuff. And it's just like, oh, I'm not into it.
like I have to say with Charlie Brooker, like late period Black Mirror is like, sometimes bad, but what really convinced me that he has lost his fastball is Death to 2020.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like the liberal version of what's that conservative movie you love talking about with Kelsey
An
Grammer where
American
he's
Carol.
yeah, that's the lib American Carol. That and what's the other Netflix thing that's terrible? I
That's not
forgot.
narrowing it down much.
Now listen, I Sarah Cooper, that's her name. The
Oh my
Sarah Cooper
god, I've
comedy
forgotten
special.
about that.
The Sarah Cooper comedy special is so hard to watch. That is, it's not. There's just how did we get there? Sarah Cooper is one of those people that I would just tweet the phrase like Sarah Cooper epic moments. And that's the because I wrote that for who's the hillbilly elegy guy?
JD Vance.
JD Vance epic moments. JD Vance epic clapbacks.
Family Guy epic clapbacks. So anyway, getting back to the leftovers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I will say that the first season of The Leftovers is better than the Sarah Cooper comedy special.
Okay,
I will give it
good.
that much.
That's progress. Yeah, you know what? The first season, I went in. I tried to tell. I told you going in that the first season kind of sucks.
Yeah,
It's the most.
I
It's
should
prestige
have
TV.
just skipped. I should have just watched 3 and 6.
I mean, yeah, it's prestige TV. It is very prestige. The second season still is prestige TV, but it gets weird.
Yeah, it feels like it's branching out into interesting places.
You know what? The thing is, I thought about a lot too, and I needed to not take it so personally. I think a lot of it was me putting too much of myself connected to this show and getting my feelings hurt when you weren't into it, which that's a very stupid thing. I have to
Yeah,
realize
it kind of
something.
reminds me of like this one poster on Something Awful Cinema Discusso. I'm not gonna name names because I can't remember the name. Who got really into defending The Last Jedi to
Oh
a
yeah.
unhealthy extent, and
Remember
like at a certain point, like regardless of the quality of the movie, you have to realize that this is not good for you.
remember when the general thread on something on PSP had to be closed and they made a new one because Livid Liquid fucked it up so much by saying that every person who doesn't like The Last Jedi is a Nazi?
Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, some people are broke brained.
Oh.
It officially got the topic of Star Wars banned from that thread.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and nobody will listen to it from here. I don't give a shit. A lot of people on that forum who have just absolutely crazy brains, like brains you haven't seen since 2013.
Oh,
Like weird fringe Tumblr politics. Like, I'm not one to make fun of Tumblr. I loved Tumblr for a long time, and I still do too. I think the good people on Tumblr are funnier than the good people on Twitter. In all honesty, like the people who are very good at making funny Tumblr posts are funnier than the funny Twitter posts. But Tumblr has the potential, not for a long time, not since like well before the sale to like Yahoo. Tumblr had the possibility to be the worst fucking place in the world. Truly just a nightmare website in the funniest ways. In the funniest ways that like just you can't replicate anymore, like just cuz some things are just so homogeneized, just so like just things aren't able to
yeah, the
get
sort of
that fucked
homogenization of the
anymore.
internet has
Yeah, things
sort of
can't get the
smoothed things out.
you can't get that fucked anymore. You can't get people like arguing over the ethics of
Stealing bones.
stealing bones. Yes, exactly, stealing bones.
No one is pretending to be HIV positive in order to make their Hamilton fanfic ethical.
Oh my god. Oh god. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is that I think, and I want to hear your take on whether you agree with this. I feel like the leftovers, even though there are parts that like didn't sit with you, and I'm talking about like the Kevin in the nightmare world area,
Yeah, yeah.
they might not have sat with you. Like it might not have like been your thing, but it's better than like a Marvel thing where like it is just safe and just means nothing, positive or negative. I feel
I can
like
agree with that. Like
the leftovers take some swings, and whether or not they hit or miss, I feel like you have to give them that they took some swings.
yeah, it's not cowardly in the same way that like a Marvel movie is, or
Like a
I
lot
was
of
gonna say something about the new Bo Burnham thing, but I will stay my hand.
I mean, I don't like truly. I don't care. You can say what you want about the Bo Burnham thing. Like I don't have a ton of investment in it. Like
Okay, so
I
the
I
Bo Burnham
enjoyed it.
thing, like a lot of it seems to be about like, especially in the first part, like what is the moral dimension of my art, and how can I do it in a way that like engages with the world, but the way that he presents, the problems in the world just feels like that one tweet about like, how can I do comedy in light of the plight of quickly Google's who is having a lot of plight 2021. It just feels disengaged from the world as it is. It
Yeah.
it seems myopic and
So the thing is, I was kind of surprised that people thought that this was wildly different than other things he's done. Like the only difference is the structure of it, I think, because this is very similar to other shit he's done, and like I guess I'm not saying that makes it good. I'm not saying
yeah,
like
it's
people
definitely in the
should
vein
sit,
of his other
but
stuff
like
in that
he
it's partly
always
trying to be funny and partly trying to make a point about society, but like in his other stuff like on stage, he elaborates on ideas like the country music riff from I think it was his previous special Make Happy.
oh
Like
yes
that evolves and goes places in a way none of the songs in this really do.
yeah
And part of that is, he's bouncing off a crowd, but part of it is because he's actually like making observations about this piece of culture and like making an argument about it through song.
yeah
And none of the songs on here, either the comedic ones or the trying to make a point ones, really feel like they have that much effort put into them.
yeah I can get behind that. I understand that. Yeah, like I get it. Yeah, it's I guess I just like I don't know. I thought some of the songs were funny. Like I thought you had objections of the white lady one, but I thought that got a couple of that got a good couple of like chuckles out of me. I thought it was
That
very
just
funny.
feels like the same joke over and over again.
I thought it was very funny like in a like oh fuck he actually like that this crazy white boy the fucking him making the joke about every white woman's like posts about their dead mother I thought that was like weirdly very funny because like I've seen like like
Courageous. This white guy is telling the truth about white women.
I've I've seen that post a lot, and like it's things
Telling
that
the
I
truth
never
about Stereo Voice, I'm about to tell the truth about white women.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. I just like I wasn't surprised by it. It wasn't like yeah, you're right. Like he didn't elaborate on a lot of stuff that he probably should have elaborated on. Like really, like not elaborate, but like made sharper observations on.
Yeah, and like the political stuff is what sort of like really got me frustrated because like I've kind of had enough of well-off white people fretting about like, oh, how can I keep doing art in this climate of uncertainty, and then just continuing to do the same shit they've always done.
Yeah.
Because like if you're gonna do that, then just like don't say the first part.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I get what you mean completely.
But anyway, yeah, the first season of The Leftovers, I found it a lot of it. Much like the second season, I found it more frustrating than actively bad, but more of it I found actively bad than I found in the second season.
Yeah.
Like, first season of The Leftovers, I say it's like a 2 out of 5.
Uh-huh.
That's not horrendous, but it is also not like above average.
No. Yeah.
Third, second season, I'd say is like 3, maybe 2.75 if we're going Dave mode.
Hmm.
But like season 3 is where it like gets consistently actually good.
Yeah, that's that season 3 they really are hitting on all, just like they are knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, season 3 is like 7, like at least 4 out of 5 episodes and 1 frustrating 2.
Yeah. See,
That honestly is probably more like a 2.5, but like the specific ways in which it's frustrating really get to me.
yeah. I really that episode the last for some reason him reading that passage from the book, like the ending, just gets me. Like it just guts me when he starts doing that.
Yeah, like that I agree with that. Like it that part is
But
very
then
good.
but then they fucking yeah, I get it. Like I completely agree. They undercut it with the fucking good vibrations. Like they really they should have avoided that one.
I just the music supervisor in this just I don't know, like investigate him for malpractice.
Yeah, like we're talking about two shows today that are famous for their needle drops, and one I think is a literal masterclass in needle drops, and the other is not as
The
good.
Leftovers.
The other is not as good. I like the needle drops, but I can't defend them. They're not very good.
Ah man, I just keep thinking of songs that came up and like they felt like the most obvious choice possible in the moment and I fucking pissed me off. Fucking white lines at the end of the cocaine episode,
Yeah,
1-800 suicide at the beginning of the episode, like right after the suicide cold open, like
and the Where Is My Mind? Yeah, that was some of the roughest stuff. Is the Where Is My Mind stuff?
the Orange Cassidy leitmotif.
Yeah,
Oh, I not even like Fight Club does not have the cultural association with that song in my head anymore. It's the Orange Cassidy song.
yeah.
Oh.
See, what were you saying?
I now I'm just thinking of like Kevin Garvey in the Orange Cassidy outfit.
See, I thought Justin Theroux did a good job as that role. I liked him. I think
Yeah, yeah. My
he
problem is not with him; it's with how his character is written,
yeah,
and
no.
like how for most of the show he's just standing there going, "What?"
What? Yeah.
Mister Too Damn Incredulous.
So, I'm racking my brain to think about different oh, you liked the Matt episodes a lot.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
talk about the
Matt.
Matt episodes.
Matt was the MVP.
Those if I have to stand by any three episodes, it's the three Matt episodes. I think those episodes are fucking wonderful.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
the third one is the lesser of the three, but I still like the third one of the weird lion sex cult.
Oh, honestly, I think I might like that. Trying to remember what the second one was, because the first one was the one where he's Kaiji, and the episode ends with his church having been sold because he was out cold for 3 days after trying to help them
Yeah,
after they got hate crimed.
yeah. So yeah, that's the
Oh, the
first
second
one.
one is where he gets robbed for his
Hmm.
pass into Miracle.
And he can't get back in, and he has to like be crucified.
Yeah,
Symbolic.
you know what? You're right. The third one is the least of those three, but it is still very good.
No, yeah, yeah. It's the A compared to two A pluses.
Yeah.
I do like the moment where he speaks Frasier's name, and he has to get his I always remember it as him having to fuck a live lion in my mind, but it's not that.
Oh, if you speak his name, you'll have to come in him.
Oh my god. Wouldn't it be great if it was the same thing, but instead of a lion, it was Kelsey Grammer? The great thing about somebody had a great tweet about Kelsey Grammer recently where, like, he played a smart guy for so long that people were convinced that he himself was a smart guy, which is very funny because he is incredibly dumb.
uh, I I would love to see the version of this where Kelsey Grammer is the Australian guy who says he's God.
Yes. Because that's what's his name, right? Not Charles Dance. What's his name? Bill Camp. Bill Camp. Because that's the guy who's in the underworld, right? Like who
Yeah,
guides Kevin.
the karaoke guy.
Yeah, and then that's him alive. I didn't get that my
Right, yeah.
first watch through. I just thought it was a different guy. I also didn't get that it was Bill Camp. I love Bill Camp.
I'm trying to remember what else I would know him from.
Have you ever seen The Night Before?
No.
Oh, you should watch that one. That's a mini series. You can bang that one out in an afternoon.
Wait,
Um,
not the Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie about
no, wait.
Christmas.
No, that's 'Twas the Night. Or maybe it was. I don't know. No, this is what's his name? The guy from The Sound of Metal.
Riz Ahmed?
Yes, Riz
Oh,
Ahmed.
this is the thing with John Turturro. I
Yep.
saw the first episode of this. Didn't really care for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I love that one. It really John Turturro is very good in it, and it's so insane to think like that role was written by and for James Gandolfini, but like he died right before production.
Yeah. One thing I like about the third season is that it feels much more inventive visually than either of the first two seasons.
Yeah.
And that is a big part of why they frustrated me because they looked like just about any other HBO show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I used to love HBO. Like I used to get like a special feeling when I put on HBO, like when I was like a middle schooler or a high schooler.
You miss the
Like
old HBO.
I miss that old HBO. Like, because HBO now is just like, I mean, it's not HBO now; it's HBO Max. Um, because now it's just Warner's like TV thing. It's Warner's Netflix. They're just gonna put any old shit on there. But like HBO used to have a feel to it. Like it's like it's the tweet I made the other day. But like replace A24 with HBO. Like they are the only motherfuckers who aren't Spielberg brained.
Yeah.
Like I really even for any thing's faults, if they really are swinging towards the fence of trying to make entertainment for goddamn adults, and not like adult entertainment, but like things that are emotionally mature and made for like 37-year-olds, I gotta respect it. I Even if I don't like it, I have to respect it because so much of everything is just made for fucking like not children, but adults with the minds of children. It's just fucking like just tune brained, but not even the good tunes. Like I'm tune brained for good tunes like Looney Tunes and old Disney shit. People are tune brained for like Steven Universe and want like adult media to be more like Steven Universe. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm getting toon brained, but for Golden Kamuy and
Yes. For
well, no, I would not recommend the animated version of Golden Kamuy. Read Golden Kamuy if you're gonna engage with it at all.
yes, that's what I always say. That's what I've
Because
always said.
like, not only does it have much more fun facts about forestry and Japanese indigenous culture, it has hotter guys. That artist really puts the work in making guys hot.
When you text me like different manga panels, I actually like I do get it. I actually get it because like so much anime, modern anime just looks like dog shit just because of
Yeah.
how it's made now, but like manga still looks like manga. So I might get it. Like I might start reading a manga.
Yeah, I would recommend you download a Tachiyomi, which is it's like a manga reading app that like you can basically connect to free manga services online and pirate more easily and read
Yeah.
it on like a tablet. That's what
Uh-huh.
I've been reading Golden Kamuy on.
Yeah. I want to read Berserk like
Oh
now that
yeah, Berserk. I've
like
started on that one and it is
like
smoke one
that
for
is
Kentaro Miura.
that motherfucker, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about him until I read about his, like read about him after his death. That motherfucker put like those every panel. What the hell?
Oh
Like
yeah.
he drew himself into the grave. Like that those are some detailed panels I've seen. Like everything is just a fucking Lovecraft image.
Yeah.
Um
A frustrating thing I'm running into with like stuff I'm getting interested in is like I read something that I think would my mom would like Say Hello to Blackjack is something I'm reading right now, and it's a drama series about a guy who's just out of medical school and he's a resident in a hospital and he keeps running into callousness and corruption in the Japanese medical industry, but there's not an animated version of it, so I can't recommend it. Because like my mom will like she'll watch a cartoon, but like sitting down and reading something that
no. I
reading a
can't
comic that she no.
no. No, it's very hard to get a parent to read a comic.
Yeah.
I've tried from experience. I connect with my dad a lot because I watch a lot of just like 70s normie movies and shows. Like shows that like a guy who worked in a factory like in the 70s, worked in a mill, would come home and drink a warm beer while watching. A warm beer he had to open with a fucking can opener. He'd sit down and just watch fucking Rockford Files. That's the good shit. That's the good shit. The certified good shit is like Dragnet, you know?
Yeah, there is like a baseline level of like cinematographical quality in like 70s TV that's like shot on film that you kind of don't see in the modern age of like Netflix stuff that's shot on digital cameras.
No, yeah. No, film, like, you know what I don't get? Like, so I have a philosophy. I'm going to go grand on this, like, even in the grander state. There are so many things in this world where there are two types of people, and the easiest way to describe this is cat people versus dog people. I think cat people, dog people is a universal thing that happens in so many different, like, this versus that's. The cat person is usually like, I like cats, I love cats, I like dogs, but I like cats more. Dogs are pretty good. The dog person is like, if I see a cat, I'm gonna shoot it with my gun. I fucking hate cats. They have ruined my entire life. Like, that is such a universal fucking thing. Am I wrong? Like, there are so many things where, like, fucking one side is just chill. They're just like, yeah, I like this. It's a cool thing. Like I get the other way, I understand. I've got a lot of friends who are into it. I've got nothing against it, but I just like this other way. The other person's like, those people are motherfuckers and we need to nuke them off the earth. And that is, in my experience, and people are going to argue with me, and they can, but they're wrong. That is digital versus film, and the film people are the chill people. I'm sorry. The film people are the chill people. They're all like, yeah, I get that, the future is digital. Like, I understand, but I just would really like if we preserve this fucking art medium, like this way of making art. I think it's really good and interesting, and I really think it's a disservice if we let it die. And the digital people are just like, fuck you, motherfucker! Digital, you cannot see the difference! You cannot see the difference! I will fucking kill you! Am I wrong? Neil, am I wrong?
I can see it. Yeah,
Like,
I feel like there in these there's usually like a middle ground of like people. Like there are chill people on both sides, but there is one side with a higher percentage of just like blood sucking freaks.
yes. Like, I want you to go into any Reddit thread any R movies Reddit thread of like preserving film or like digital versus film, you will see endless seas of people being like, I'm so tired of smug film fanboys. Digital is just as good, and it's like, motherfucker, you're winning. Motherfucker, you've won. It's the Marvel fanboy thing. You've won, but you're so mad that not everybody is cheering for you.
Yeah, that's another thing that came to mind. Like, there are clearly like freaks on both sides, but
Uh,
like the freaks on the Marvel side are more vicious.
yes. Like, I don't get, like, Disney has taken over all media. They are the king of all media. They have fucking, like, I
They
know.
have Owen Wilson on the Sibian and Loki.
They have, like, you've won. All right? All you don't get is like 9 people on Twitter. But that's all you care about, is making those people bend the knee. That's what they want. They don't care that they won. They don't care that they won. They want everyone to bend the knee. And like, film has film is obviously cucked. Film is like, there's like 3 directors still making movies on film. Like, there's like one company that still makes it, and they barely make it. Like, fuck. It's a grim future for film. Like, you won. Fucking calm down, you know? Let some people be sad. Let people not enjoy things.
uh,
You know what I mean? Am I wrong? Am I crazy? Because like, I feel like I just see constantly people go like, oh, there's so many smug like, I see nothing but smug digital fanboys. You know?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like when was the last time you saw a smug film fanboy? Like 2012? Ever
I
since that side by side movie was fucking, that was a cancer for film Twitter.
yeah, I don't really see like, big film heads on the TL. Like, practical versus CG is a similar conflict. Like, the practical side is basically in the mud right now. And
Yes,
like,
all we
CG
have.
people, like, it's not as vicious on both sides, but like,
Ah,
there is like a thing where like CG fans will complain about people complaining
yeah,
when they are, on the winning team.
yeah,
Like the Marvel versus Scorsese.
yes,
Marvel
exactly.
versus Scorsese 2 New Age of Heroes.
Yeah, the Marvel fanboy's biggest enemy is like a peepaw, who's just like, I'm sad, I miss when movies were made. Like, this guy's got 3 movies left in him maximum. Like, fucking, you won, assholes. Movies are now just McDonald's, and not even good. You know, it's not even McDonald's. McDonald's tastes good. You know, it's like fucking, I don't know, like uh Soylent, let's say.
I just gotta say, I miss when culture was awesome. And now we've got this awesome culture. And they're just theme parks. It's awesome culture.
This is why I just retreat into like mid-century media. I'm like Jim Cornette, but for like movies that dads in 1971 watched. Watch
Thankfully,
the
you're not as racist.
No, not as racist. Watch the Hot Rock. It's on Criterion Channel right now, and it is fucking good. Like, that is God mode. Robert Redford. God mode. Oh, what's his name? He just died.
Elliot Gould,
No. Elliot Gould's buddy in California Split. I think he was the
Peter
grandpa.
Segal.
Yes, Peter. Yes,
Yeah,
Peter
yeah,
Segal.
from Just
Yeah,
Shoot Me.
George Segal. George Segal. Yeah. He's so fucking good in that movie. He plays like a sleazy locksmith.
Speaking of Cornette, have you been watching this season of Dark Side of the Ring?
No, I haven't. I've been waiting for it to all be done so I can just like watch it in a day.
Okay, so the Warrior episode has perhaps one of my favorite weird Cornette moments,
Yeah.
where he is just talking about, Warrior's horrible political views and how he said all these things about gay people, and I'm like, motherfucker, have you heard your podcast?
Have you heard you?
I have you tuned in to the calling Kenny Omega a faggot who has AIDS hour?
Do you think like there has to be a certain level of Jim Cornette that doesn't believe any of the shit, right? Like
I
he knows he's making money on it, and he's making good money on that shit, on being fucking wrestling Rush Limbaugh. But like, there's got to be a part of him that doesn't actually believe that shit.
there is so much Carney in him that there does have to be like a segment of him that believes he's working.
Yeah, because like, didn't he like he admitted privately that he doesn't actually hate the Young Bucks, right? Like, didn't he like come to them and say like we have the only feud people believe, and the Young Bucks were just like, get the fuck away from us.
Does Jim Cornette count as post left?
God.
Jim Cornette featuring Amy Therese?
No, I think like he's like Kevin Nash where he's just like a radical lib. Just like really intensely feels like the most like banal politics. Like real
You know, I voted for Obama, and that's what's so crazy about this.
Is that a Michael? Is
Cornette
that like
Kramer's into your apartment.
yes. Oh my god. All right,
Oh
we
no,
gotta keep
wait,
this.
Cornette is the Bill Maher of wrestling.
Yes. Yeah, Bill Maher. There we go. All
Bill,
right,
Bill, Bill, Bill.
we got to keep this train moving. Let's get on to Mad Men.
Yeah, I mentioned that, The Leftovers looks like just about every other show on HBO at its worst. Mad Men does not have that problem.
Mad Men. So if the leftovers is if the leftovers is my second favorite show, then Mad Men by not a country mile, the distance from Earth to the moon like 500 times is the distance between Mad Men and the leftovers in my mind. And I love the left, but Mad Men is special. That is a special piece of just art in my heart.
So The Sopranos is below The Leftovers in this ranking?
Oh, don't make me choose. Yes, I'm sorry. I know it's insane. I'll reassess it because you know what? Honestly, Deadwood is above The Sopranos. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I really should watch the third season in the movie of Deadwood.
Deadwood's so fucking good. Deadwood. Actually, I'm Deadwood's number two. I like Deadwood more than The Leftovers.
So right now you're saying Madman, Deadwood, Leftovers, the rest, including Sopranos?
Oh, I mean, like Sopranos isn't with the rest. It's definitively a place up
Right,
high.
right. I didn't want to say like number four, but it is like below the Leftovers.
Ah, I feel such hate in your voice right now when you say
No, no,
that.
I just didn't want to assume that like because there are a lot of other really good shows that could be above it.
I'm trying. I'm forgetting. I would really need to sit down and think about like what shows do I think are the best, and I'm excluding like comedy shows like in my mind for right now.
Because
I'm
like
just
for me,
thinking,
depending on the day, Paranoia Agent could be in my top five, contending with The Sopranos.
yeah. Evangelion's got to be high up there if we're throwing anime in there.
Yeah, I've been meaning to rewatch that, and then I heard about the Netflix dub having problems, including not having Fly Me to the Moon.
I mean, if you don't have like a decade old rip of Evangelion just saved on your computer, then can you really call yourself a fan?
Uh,
Like that's like one of the oldest things I have saved on my computer still.
I
Is
would have that if my library still had the DVDs of I believe it was called the Platinum Collection.
mm-hmm. The one that's like really expensive to get.
Yeah.
Um, Now you got me thinking. I might put Sopranos over Leftovers. I don't know. No, The Sopranos. I don't know. Sopranos are kind of a bell curve in my opinion. Yeah.
Really? You don't
Not
like
that.
that really great. You don't like that great stretch at the end as much as the middle.
I mean, it's not to say I don't like it. I do love it. I think
I mean,
it's amazing.
like I said, as much.
As much, yeah. It's tough. It's really tough because like I do think that some of the best stuff is in that last stretch, and I love
Yeah,
the ending.
Vito.
Vito, I love Vito. Our representation. But like I feel like all of the episodes when I think of The Sopranos, the first episodes that come to my mind are from like seasons 3 through 4, 3, 3, 4, and 5. I think.
I
I don't
think
know.
that's fair.
Because, like,
I don't really have a piece of paper handy to hash out my own ranking, but like
I'm going to think
I
about
can
this.
see having that sort of
It's
question
not a
because
bell
like
curve.
that's the same
I,
question I have with like X Files. Do I love the middle of it enough to put it above other things? Because
mm,
like the golden age of the X Files is like from season 3 through like season 6,
uh-huh.
and like even season 6 is kind of dicey. I might actually like drag that out to season 7, even though
That,
season 7 is kind of dicey as well. But
that
like,
carpool that carpool karaoke post you made was very funny.
yeah. Uh,
That's the episode that got him Breaking Bad.
there's such a difference between like good season 3 X Files and good season 6 X Files, and they're both fantastic in their own way.
Yeah.
But it's hard to believe that they're like part of the same show.
Yeah, exactly. X-Files, like, in the middle, really became, like, real good fucking TV, you know? Like, I go to bat for season one, X-Files. I think there's some good fucking episodes there, but there are some stinkers as well. Like, fuck the. I was so excited when I saw there was a Jersey Devil episode, because the Jersey Devil, that's so important to my culture. That's not the Jersey Devil. That is not the Jersey Devil. That's something weird and bad. That's a lie. Where the fuck did they come up with that? The Jersey Devil has a horse head and like a goat body and bat wings. What the fuck was why did that cave woman fuck Mulder? And then I feel like whenever I start to rewatch the X-Files, I start from the beginning and then I stop at the ATM episode. It's the
Wait,
haunted ATM.
I'm trying to remember which one that is.
It's like the Ghost in the Machine episode.
Okay, so it's not the one where like the guy starts seeing messages and like elevator buttons and like printer readouts.
I forget. Is that the
I
one?
believe that one's called Blood, and it's like one of the first Darren Morgan ones.
No, it's not that one. No.
Because like we were talking about like good TV writers earlier, and Darren Morgan is someone who only has heat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We really can't get into this. We really cannot get into this because we have to move on because I can't hang out all night. But
Yeah, speaking of The Sopranos and people who worked on it, Matthew Weiner's Mad Men.
yes, Matt Weiner. I'm not gonna. I don't appreciate you calling him Matt Weiner.
Is that not how it's pronounced?
No, it's Weiner.
Oh, I thought it was like Anthony Weiner.
He also was Me Too. So I was gonna say, you know what? He actually is a kind of a prick. The show's kind of great despite of him.
Uh.
Um, Matt Weiner is one of those guys. Like, the more you learn about him, the more you realize that he thinks Don is epic.
To be
Like,
honest, in some senses, he's not wrong. Don does have epic in him.
no, Don is epic. My most controversial take is that I don't think
Don Draper is awesome culture.
Don Draper is awesome culture. I don't think so. The thing about Mad Men, and we're gonna get into this when we talk about Don's worst moments. Mad Men is the most human TV show, in my opinion. Sopranos gets there pretty close. I think it is also very human. But Mad Men is about how fucking stupid and weird the human condition is. It is really because Breaking Bad, as good as Breaking Bad is, and I think it's all right. Those aren't humans. Those are TV characters. Those are like it's they're very clearly characters written for a TV show. They don't feel alive. Mad Men feels like those are people. Those are people who live in a world, you know? That is it's one of the most lived in shows. And in that sense, Don is the ways he sucks are so, and not just because of, he's not like a literal criminal the way like, like a Don Draper or Tony Soprano is. His problems are so.
Shane, you said Don Draper twice in that sentence.
I meant Walter White. I apologize. The way Don Draper is bad is so like it's not like a dastardly TV villain. It's the way Don is bad in the way that somebody who disappoints you is bad in real life. Would you agree? Like that's
Yeah.
It's like somebody that you really love and care for, but cannot stop disappointing you. And just like, you feel exasperated, like, man, what the fuck by the end, you know?
Yeah, Don mistreats people, but he doesn't like commit evil acts in the same way that like Tony Soprano or Steve Buscemi in Boardwalk Empire does.
Hmm.
No one
Yeah,
is fed to pigs because of Don Draper.
no. Yeah, like when he fucks up or when he hurts somebody, it's in a way that's very like, I know somebody who has fucked up in this way, and I was disappointed then, and I'm disappointed now. Like, in that way, I feel like it is so incredibly human, and I really don't think Don is an evil person. I think he's a very, very deeply sick person who is sick in ways that he will maybe never get better. Like,
Yeah, it's like when we talked about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Dom, I
mm,
brought up like that anecdote Quentin Tarantino told about this actor who killed himself because like he had undiagnosed bipolar disorder, and like so much of DiCaprio's performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is of a guy who doesn't know why he feels the way he feels and does the things he does, and Don
mm.
Draper is the same way.
Yeah, and Don cannot get better because literally every path to getting better reminds him of a way that he can make a commercial and make the big pitch to save a day. And he's addicted to that. He's addicted to, like, it reminds me of what Jake Roberts like used to say. He was addicted most to just coming out and the audience cheering for him.
Oh, speaking
Like,
of Jake Roberts, the Grizzly Smith episode of Dark Side of the Ring it's a wrecking ball.
I'm I'm very much both looking forward to and not looking forward to watching that. Don is addicted to swooping in and saving the day and making the big play and doing the big heist, and he has this addiction to that and like ruins his own life and then ruins everyone else's life in that way, because
You could say he is addicted to being epic.
yes, he's addicted to being epic. He really like the best parts of seasons like 4 through 6 are just Don failing to be epic. Don making these big swings that would have worked in seasons 1 through 3 and just falling on his fucking ass because at these times he's also just falling apart. Like,
Yeah, like when
he's
he
really,
gives Ted the spot in California, like you can tell that in his mind it is an altruistic act that's, meant to create peace, but it just destroys his life.
yes, it really like it's so funny. He like saving Ted's marriage at the expense of his life and possibly the entire firm is just so like it's burning a house down because you saw a spider. Like he really like yeah, you solved that problem, but not even kind of not really because like Ted leaves his wife anyway. Like fucking he really does just he comes up with these ideas in moments and just ruins and he just like it's like the Chappelle show. Like he was in that moment he was just he couldn't get away from keeping it real.
Oh.
That line in the Hershey pitch where he said, "If it was up to me, you would never advertise," is one of the greatest fucking lines of the show in a show filled with amazing fucking lines. I hear that and a shiver goes up my spine. Like that's so fucking good. Because, like, in that moment, he's just like, advertising is a sick thing, and you have something that is the most pure thing in America.
Yeah, like that's just a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and the fact that like the show ends. I mean like the show ended like almost 10 years ago. We can go into this.
Oh yeah, we didn't
Fucking
talk about the leftovers ending and how we felt about it.
I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I liked it, but like it seems like of the three people I've talked to about it, you, myself, and my mom, we all took away something different.
I loved that. I loved our realization that we all had different philosophies.
Yeah, so I just sort of wanted to get into it for the benefit of the listener.
Uh-huh. So
First, could you give your take?
I forget what was my take again.
I
I
believe
think
your take was that she faked her death and she's lying.
okay, yes. She faked going over. She's lying, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to Kevin. Kevin knows she's lying. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that he believes her. You know, like there's a difference between thinking she's lying and believing her. You know, like it's kind of like he accepts her that this needs to be her reality. She needs to believe that she did that. She needs him to believe that she did that. And he knows that. And he's like, okay, that's okay. It's the fucking thing. It's exactly what Kevin Garvey's ex-wife says. You don't tell a delusional person that they're delusional. It's
Yeah,
him
and like
doing that,
that's
but like,
something I can get as an interpretation. I disagree with it, but I understand how you come to that conclusion.
no, yeah,
My mom's interpretation that she's not lying and that that's exactly what happened, I am less able to accept because that I think goes against everything the show is trying to say about, how people move on and process this sort of thing.
yeah,
Like the whole conceit of the show is that something happened that you will never be able to truly understand, and that the ways people try to understand that have the potential to completely destroy their lives. And the idea that at the end of it, it's like, nope, here's what happened. You can come back from it, and here you are. I think that kind of just betrays everything. And
hmm
so that's why I believe that she went through with it, and this is what in her mind would be a good ending. Like, this is what she's hoping happens before she is basically atomized and killed by the process.
yeah,
Because she has accepted that she is either going to find truth or die. And this isn't a truth that really heals her. This isn't a truth that really gets her back with her family, but it does allow her to move on and live.
yeah. And I respect the hell out of that. I think that's a really good read on it. I love an ending like this that can give a bunch of different people, like it's like a fucking like a Rorschach test or like a good painting in like a what's it called? So yeah, like I love that you can have different interpretations of this and they be valid, you know? Like I really do think your idea of this is very valid. Absolutely. You know, I think it's as valid as mine, you know?
Meanwhile, the Mad Men finale doesn't really have that sort of room for interpretation. Everyone seems to agree on, the specific mechanics of like what happened, but what
But
exactly it means seems to be the more fruitful
yeah,
thing
no,
to discuss.
it's not open for interpretation really. Like the events of what happened, like exactly what you said. And I don't think it's bad for that. I think it stuck that landing. I think it went for a landing. Um it's the exact same ending as the Clockwork Orange ending, in my opinion. Fucking, I was cured all right. Like that motherfucker just goes right back to it. Like exactly what I was saying. He was so close. This is the closest he ever came to fucking self-actualizing, to getting better. And in a moment, he had an idea of like, I can turn a profit on this. And it's not even about the money. He doesn't give a shit about money. He's richer than God. He doesn't care. He just wants to be epic. And he was. He made the greatest commercial of all time. I think that is the best fucking ending. That is so fucking good. The fact that he took that moment, that very special moment, and was just like, I'm going to write the famous Coca-Cola commercial. Like the whole show was leading to that moment. From the first episode, in the first episode, they mentioned Coca-Cola. I feel like to that, you know.
I agree with you in a sense, but I'm not quite as cynical on it as you are. The thing that came to mind wasn't a Clockwork Orange; it was Roadside Picnic.
Okay.
This ad is his cry of, happiness for everyone for free and no one is left behind. This is his cry of that connection he felt with, I believe it was Leonard, the
Yeah.
guy in the support group,
Uh
where
huh.
he finally does understand, this is the feeling I'm commiserating with every time I try to, this is the urge at the core of my urge to make advertisements,
Yeah.
this yearning for love.
Uh huh.
And this is, just a pure expression of the I'd like to buy the world a home and furnish it with love. Like, I fucking broke down crying when that dropped. I
Oh yeah.
Oof. But at the same time, it's fundamentally not enough. Like, this medium cannot fulfill that urge, it can only express that yearning.
Yes. Yeah. He trades in a industry that cannot get that message out. It can only exactly I'm just parroting what you're saying. Exactly what you mean. Yeah. It's
It can only
I
express that want, it cannot fill that hole.
yes, exactly. It's like what he said. Commercials are calamine lotion, or nostalgia, It's yeah, I mean, I don't view it as nostalgically as maybe I put it out in the world. I think he believes it. I think he believes his shit, but it is still like he's going back to make that commercial
Yeah, but
instead
I
of
do think he has at least found some understanding of himself that he didn't have before. He
yes,
has he may not go through life making the healthy choices, but he will at least have a better understanding of himself in his attempts to avoid making those bad choices.
yeah. So I think one of my favorite things about how Mad Men ends, and I've written about this before. It really it ends in a way where it's still moving, like in the best possible way. It feels like you could have gotten more seasons out of this. It's perfect that it ended. That's where it needed to end. But the way they made it end, where it feels like these are still characters who are moving, who are still living, who are still going on. There is still there because the show is not a story. It is like a window into the lives of these people. Because it's not like a serialized show where there's one overarching. These are just glimpses into the days of these people. And they make it very clear that the days are going to be continuing for everybody except for Betty. And I really think that's a really wonderful, like, just feat that they accomplished. Would you
I do
agree?
have to say, like, at the beginning of season 6, I was kind of wondering why Betty was still there because her and Henry didn't really seem to be interesting to follow. They
No.
mainly just served to be a sort of part of life that Don and Sally interact with sometimes in
There
their
are,
more interesting paths through life. But I do think Betty's ending did work.
yes. Like, yeah, a lot of people were frustrated or mad that, like, she ended that way. But, like, I think, no, I think that works. I think, like, she really, such a sad story, her story. So incredibly sad from beginning to end. And just, like, I appreciate that the show didn't make her a good person, you know? Like,
Yeah,
I appreciate they didn't make her a little ingenue who was just put upon, and when given time to shine, she really is like a great personality. No, she sucks. She's a product of her fucking environment. She was destroyed from the inside. And guess what? She sucks on the inside because she was destroyed. Of course she's like a sack of shit. Of course she abuses her daughter. She was abused. Of course, like, she like just like has rancid takes and just is not a kind person. She was destroyed by every man and woman in her life. She is like a fucking caged dog that was never given any love. Like, that dog is not going to come up and lick your hand, you know?
yeah, like the comparison my mom made is that like Betty Draper and Anna Breaking Bad were treated the same way, but I think like they go in different places as the show goes on. Like Betty is a person, Anna is she's kind of just there to make to show Walt being bad, and like
Yeah.
most of the people who watch Breaking Bad think Walt is cool because the show says he's cool.
Yeah. It's so funny how Breaking Bad is for like 45-year-olds and 12-year-olds. Like, it is no surprise that like 12-year-olds who are obsessed with Among Us and Fortnite also love Breaking Bad. Because it's a show filled with epic moments. It's an epic moment show. Like, and you know what? The beauty of Breaking Bad is not the epic moments. It's like the weird little moments. Like, I do like I talk mess on Breaking Bad, but I actually do like it quite a bit. But it's not because of the moments that a lot of people talk about. It's like I really like that Anna Breaking Bad's sister likes to steal shit. Like that's
Oh
a
yeah,
great little
she's a
thing.
cool character. She's
She's
like
a
an
great
interesting
character.
character in a show that's
She
not really equipped to have
yeah.
interesting characters like that.
No, yeah. Like I love when people are just like you want to know what is a breaking it was just like a heartbreaking moment in Mad Men. You know it's so funny. Like it's such like a funny dumb moment, but it actually breaks my heart whenever I see it. The dinner scene with Don, Pete, Ken and their wives, like when they're at Pete's country house
Oh.
and like somebody brought brownies and Pete was just like, just for once I wish you guys would eat it in the freezer like I like. It's such a small moment that breaks my heart. It's too human. It's too fucking human. It's too weird, small human, you know? Like, no other show would take the time out to have that. Like, to show that little weird. Because that's a thing that everyone does. Not specifically the brownie thing. That's fucking weird. But we all
Everyone
have,
has like
like,
their weird little preference that they get mad people don't share.
yes. And, like, that's such a small moment that no other show would take the time out for. And that show does. And I feel like,
Like for me that's like peeling and eating lemons.
what?
Oh, you never like peel a lemon like an orange?
Oh man. Oh fuck. What have I gotten myself into on this show? No, I do weird shit. Don't worry about me. I do a lot of pissy shitty kind of stuff. I listen, my favorite if I wake up in the middle of the night, you know what my treat is? I roll up like just flour tortillas and just like dunk them in hot sauce and eat them. Like that is what my body craves at 3 in the morning. I'm just
See,
like, I
when I
need
had like no money in college, I kind of did something like that once where like the only thing I had in the fridge was like 3 tortillas. And so I microwaved them and ate them. And then I got the most constipated I've ever been in my life. That is the most struggle meal I've ever eaten.
that is a struggle meal. That is absolutely a struggle meal.
That is a I have like $1.30 in the bank right now meal.
The most struggle meal I ever had was me and Nicole. We were poor as fuck in like early 2019. Poor as fuck. Like we did not have any money and we had no money on the horizon. Uh, and we were out, like very far out, like nowhere near home. And we went to a Royal Farms and we shared a chicken on a biscuit, which I cannot imagine is more than $2. It has to be like $1.75, and we could not afford two. And we both got diarrhea from it. So all these struggle meals always end in that story, I feel like.
You should have had 3 tortillas to balance it out.
No, I'm not getting into I do not like poop chat. I don't like feces discourse. But tortillas give me diarrhea. I don't know what's going on with your body where you get constipated, but they give me diarrhea.
Anyway.
I think it's because I buy the fancy tortillas from like Whole Foods that like you have to like cook on the stove. Like they're only half made.
These were like grocery store tortillas.
Oh yeah, no, those are not the yeah. You don't get the Whole Foods one if you're struggling. You just get the Mission ones or like
Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, before we move on to the official ranking of Don Draper's most detestable acts, I want to say that like another character I'm glad didn't become the, perfect person that she could have been is Peggy. Peggy
Oh yes.
Peggy remains kind of a piece of shit.
I was hoping you would have this same opinion as me because I have this realization like my third or fourth watch through is that she really is just a little gremlin woman. She really just like as the series goes on, she becomes much less of an ingenue and just more like she wants the epic Dawn moments, but she has none of the charisma. So it's just like fucking. So like she really, it's just like fucking Gwen Snyder delivering lines from 300.
She kind of does become Liz Lemon.
Yes, just like a really miserable person, like racist.
She becomes so racist she stabs her boyfriend with a makeshift pike.
Oh my god.
She goes Longinus mode on him.
Abe is great. We're pouring one out for Abe. Abe is all of us.
Yeah,
Abe,
Abe.
Paul
Abe is
Kinsey,
based.
Abe, Paul Kinsey. We all think we're Stan, but we're all Abe and Paul.
Abe is getting a chalky milk because he's epic.
I do think Paul, Abe, and Stan would have the best podcast. That'd be Chapo. That's Cumtown for Mad Men.
Ginsburg.
Oh, no, Ginsburg only appears occasionally because he's the true anon.
See, I would think like Ginsburg is Nick, Stan is Stav,
Mm-hmm.
and Peggy is Adam.
No, true anon.
Joan is Amber.
uh, true anon in this universe is Ginsburg and
Joyce.
Peggy's girlfriend. Yeah, Peggy's like photographer lesbian girlfriend. That is
Yeah.
true anon. They're talking about fucking JFK assassinations right after it happened.
uh, Speaking of conspiracies, I love the conspiracy that people had when the seventh season was airing that Megan was going to be Manson
Oh my
family.
god. You don't get how fucking annoying that was to watch live. The fucking something awful thread would not shut the fuck up about it. They were obsessed with that shit.
God,
I hated that shit so much.
no one was saying, "Oh yeah, Roger's gonna kill Malcolm X." No, that only happened with the Manson shit.
No, yeah. If Roger, through a series of bumbles, accidentally killed Malcolm X, that would have been great.
Don, have joined the Nation of Islam.
I'm just imagining
Assalamu alaikum, Pete.
I'm just imagining him saying that in the Frere Jacques voice. Oh my god, I'm imagining like it's probably like 1972 or 73. Roger's just shitting all over what's his name? Lou for making anime. Like, how could you go over there and do that for them? And then the ghost of Bert Cooper going like, Roger, stop it. They're a good people.
In every person's life, they have pillars. They have things that hold them to the ground. And in your faith, you've got the 5 pillars. I don't really have a good Don voice.
No, yours is good. I like it. All right, let's get to this ranking because I gotta bow soon.
All right.
So these are the worst moments of Don. I've been trying to think about them since you mentioned them to me. Would you say that the Sal moment is the worst?
Yes.
That is the moment where he is actively meaning the most harm, I think.
Actively, intentionally cruel.
Yes.
In a way that, like, driving away from the Howard Johnsons, that is on a whim in response to something. He is wounded there. In this situation, he is selling somebody out with a clear mind.
Somebody that, like, the show depicts as them being friends, Like, as much as Don can have a friend, he likes Sal, But,
Yeah,
like...
this is a mercenary act.
Yeah. It's a real sick moment. The moment where he fires Lane and leads to Lane killing himself, really, it sucks, but, like, there is an internal logic there that really, like, it wouldn't have gone any other way,
Yeah, like, Lane did do something wrong in a way
Lane
that Sal didn't.
Lane
Like,
probably could have...
Sal was sexually harassed and he got fired for it.
Yeah. I think the shit he did with Linda Cardellini is pretty sick. Like the
Oof.
tying her up on the hotel. Like, that was not good. That's some not good shit. And then, like, just destroying her life,
Wait, I thought the tying up moment was Jimmy's wife.
Oh, you're right. You know what? I conflated the two. Kind of emotionally tying her up in the hotel.
Yes. I remember what you're referring to with that. Yeah, their relationship is one of the most. It's one of the sicker relationships.
That is
one that is emblematic of Don's problems as a man.
You know how Twin Peaks: The Return is all of the story beats of Twin Peaks, but without like the folksiness, so you just see it for like the sickness that it is. That's season 6 Don. There's none of the suaveness to his affair. This is just rotten to the core.
Yeah, season 6 Don is evil Coop.
Yeah, he is, because he's fully committed that he now is a philanderer. He's spiraling. He's fucking drunk. He's like just he's off. You know, he's very off. He's making enemies out of all the people who love him. You know,
Yeah,
he
I would say
like
that's above Lane, but below Sal.
he scars his daughter for life.
Oh yes, that.
I mean, that wasn't his like it wasn't his fault technically. I mean, it is, but like
I mean, he didn't instigate it, but he did completely mishandle it.
oh yeah, absolutely. Um,
I don't know if I want to separate that off into just a general treating his daughter poorly.
yeah, you know, he really he doesn't do right by Sally, and Sally just loves him so much and really needs a solid parent because Betty sucks so much and he's
Yeah,
not there for her. Like there are nice moments between him and Sally, like there are some very nice moments. Like if the last interaction between Don and Sally was the time in the diner when they were going to do like ditch on the bill
yeah,
and you know Don was real with her about losing his job. Like that would have
yeah.
been great, but instead their last interaction is the fucking like
At the bus.
at the bus, like him hitting on his daughter's like 17-year-old friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he was, oh man,
Yeah, I think a general like Don mistreating Sally. I think it goes below Linda Cardellini, but
yeah,
above Lane.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then I
okay.
think the Howard Johnson's moment has to be in here, and I think it's below Lane, but it is number 5.
Don and Megan like were instantly terrible together. I like how the show
Yeah,
depicted like there's not much of a honeymoon period. Like you see it like in the beginning, like oh they seem to, oh no there's that's rotten already. That's rotten on the surface. Um,
yeah, they're not good for each other.
is that's what the money is for? How do you feel about that? Like it's not like the worst, but that is like the mascot for this, you know? Like that's the
I
most easily pointed to like Don being a sack of shit.
I don't think that is the worst Don Peggy moment. I think that's just, him being honest about the dynamics of the workplace, and like their dynamic is it's very interesting because like he clearly trusts her, but she can't accept that trust.
Yeah.
She wants something out of this relationship that like on a business level the job is just not built for, and on an interpersonal level Don is incapable of.
So what do you think about the Rosemary's Baby moment in the pitch where he's just like tell them why you're doing this, and then he saves the day in a different direction, like just completely embarrassing them in front of everyone.
I think that
I mean, it's not bad. It's just like
it's not as bad as the Howard Johnson's moment,
no, it's not as bad as any of
but
those moments. It's just
it
like
is a very petty cruelty.
yeah, because like he could have went up to them privately and been like, "This, you gotta cut it the fuck out with this." But like he had to do that in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a difference between Don's sins and Don's like just regular shittiness.
Yeah, yeah. Like we seem to be trying to like divide the line between like mortal sins and like whatever the Catholic term is for things that aren't as bad as mortal sins.
Yeah.
Just being a shitty dude, whatever that is in Latin.
Yes, exactly.
Fuckboy moments.
Yes, fuckboy moments. Don's fuckboy moments. He has plenty of them. He what's he does bad by some of his he does like the Bobby stuff, like you know, using Bobby as a finger puppet.
Oh, right. Yeah, that I
I mean, Bobby
that is a
sucks.
complex relationship.
Bobby sucks
Like
dick, you know, but like you know, that's a sick affair that he has, you know, because like I don't even think he likes her at all or even is really attracted to her. But there's like just a power thing going on, you know?
I think that relationship goes both ways. In that like she is pressuring him into something that he does not want, but
Uh huh.
he is using that pressure as business leverage.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so let's get back
I'm
to
trying to
like,
think if there's like a moment with Betty that really would make this list. Cuz
oh,
like most of his sins in that relationship are just
being
him
unfaithful.
being him being an unfaithful man of that era. He is
It's not
not
even like, it's,
exceptional in his cruelty.
it's just like, it's not even like that he is unfaithful. it's just like it's a fake marriage. It's a complete like fakeness that he like decides to like check in on every like year and a half and be like, "Oh, I love her. I love my family." Because like he wants the idea of the family, but he can't actually do it.
Yeah, this is a social thing for him that he is not invested in to the degree that Betty is, and failing to communicate that is
Um
what really destroys both of them in
I'm
that
think
marriage.
I think him calling her a whore for wearing a bikini is pretty bad. Like not terrible, but like that's a real fuck. That's a strong fuck boy moment.
Yeah, yeah. Like there are a lot of shithead moments here, but nothing on the level of abandoning Megan at the Howard Johnsons.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the worst. So would you say that's like the second worst thing he does, or like the third?
See, I put it at fifth. Like, it's
Okay.
like tied with Lane, but like as I said, it's like it's a crime of passion. Like he is clearly wounded by her remark about his mother, and like it does not have the clear-headed cruelty that like the Lane thing has.
I think him not no him bringing Megan on the in the first place on that trip and it being a fake trip. It being like a fucking like what is it like a test, like what is it called? Like what's it called when like Ralph Wiggum was turning the knob sideways while crying?
Focus group.
It's a focus group. It was a focus group vacation, and like her realizing that halfway through and just being like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Like the fact that he had never intended for this to be like a romantic trip, and it was like a fucking focus group thing.
Right, right. I'm See, I'm still not sure it gets above Lane because like the consequences are so different. Like only one of those ends with someone dying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, nowhere near. I okay. So what is our ranking from 1 to 5 right now?
Right now, mine is Don firing Sal, mistreating Linda Cardellini, mistreating Sally, firing Lane, abandoning Megan at the Howard Johnsons.
I think that's mine as well. I think that is a perfect one. I might put Sally above Linda Cardellini.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Now, before we go, I do want to say Glenn. I want to talk about Glenn.
Glenn! Glenn's great. Fuck
Glenn,
anybody who hates Glenn.
I I'm so fucking surprised that Glenn, like, that's his only role. Like,
Yeah,
it's that and like a direct to DVD kids movie.
that's his only acting. He's pretty good. He's not bad.
I it just it feels like a perfect storm. Just like
People
a
people don't like it because it's too real, you know?
yeah, like this is, a fucked up kid being failed by the people around him, and he ends up being a fucking troop.
Yeah. And like he has a weird fucked up adult sexual relationship, like psychosexual relationship with a woman with with a child brain. What is the what's the cum town thing like about uh like lib Marge and conservative Homer like you have the brain of a dog, Marge. Shut up, bitch.
Shut
Marge,
up, bitch.
Marge, you're a fucking idiot. I'm a
God.
fag diggly agate. Okay, I think anything Cumtown does where they reference The Simpsons is the best things they've ever done.
Just
Uh,
unreal level impressions.
I think it's okay. The top three Cumtowns are uh I would say um that long tirade against the Simpsons doing Kamala Harris like ads. Good Morning Popeye and oh I just had one. Fuck, I just had it. What was it? Oh, I forget.
If I had to pick three, I would pick Perseverance,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Stav's Doctor. I'm way more vital and vibrant than Dan Schneider. Uh,
Oh, it was gay Michael Douglas, but I don't know if I stand by that.
I, if I'm picking a third, like the wallet.
Okay, yeah, the wallet's fucking great. I
I'm
gotta,
using assisted text to speech, and it says psych. No,
I'm
no,
gonna,
yeah, that's a different thing. The search history.
Oh, I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna cheat. My favorite Cumtown moment is actually from the Hot Couch episode. It is Stav's grandpa's birds.
Oh God.
That's the best story anybody has ever told.
uh,
Just ruining his family's life forever with his exotic birds.
this isn't a whole bit. It's just a specific line. Would you rather molest a kid or drive drunk?
They really Cumtown really are the modern like Greek philosophers, you know? They're the only ones asking the big questions.
Uh,
All right, I unfortunately have to go, so we're gonna have to wrap this one up. This is a weird episode, but I'm very proud of it.
all right. I don't have a specific sign off for this one, but